Hello, happy Thursday. Welcome to Exercise with Exos. I have a good workout plan for us today. Obviously, we already do another pyramid, so I know we did that 2 weeks ago now, something like that. And we are going to do 50 seconds of work for the first, we're going to do 50 first movement, 10 the second movement, and then 30, and then 10, 50. So a little bit more spaced out that way. And then we're going to do an upper body with a lower body movement. So we'll get a total body workout in today. We're doing 12 movements total. We do not need any equipment for today's workout. And yeah, so we're going to go ahead and get started. First thing we're going to do here is we are going to do push-ups here. So we can either be on the hands and knees or on the hands and toes. Hands directly below the shoulders, core nice and tight so pelvis is tucked, and we're going to come down and then push up and then really pushing the whole ground away from us. So that is going to be the first one. And then with that, we're going to do reverse lunges, and we're going to be at the top of our space. We're going to step back into our reverse lunge, and we're going to hold for 2 seconds. Then we're going to push the ground away and come back up. So we're stepping back and then holding and then push the ground away. So that's going to be our first 2 movements. And then after that, we're going to go ahead and do some pike push-ups. So for that, we're going to be in a pike or a down dog position. So glutes towards the ceiling, core is nice and tight. Bring that head down between our hands and coming back up. So we're going to do pike push-ups. And then we're going to do squat. Sorry, no, we're not doing squats yet. We're doing curtsy lunges. Again, 2-second holds. So we're stepping back diagonal across. Hips forward, coming down, 2 seconds, push ground away, and then the other side again, hips forward and holding for 2 seconds. And then after that, we're going to do some plank to pike on the hands and toes, core is tight, push the hips up and back down and flowing through that. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to do squats. So feet hip width apart, toes forward, coming down, holding for 2 seconds, push the ground away, stand back up. So that's going to be our third one. And then next, we're going to go ahead and do plank, knee to same side elbow. So hands and toes and coming out, touching each knee. So we're zipping that core up. String is attached to the toe. We want to use the core, not the hips, to bring those knees up. And then we're going to go ahead and do a staggered squat after that. So we're just going to do one leg, and then actually in the next one for the lower body, we'll do the opposite leg. So choosing whichever leg we want to start with. And the other foot, the toe can kind of be in line with the arch of the foot. It can be back a little bit further or out to the side, whatever feels good. But all of the weights right now, I'm really using my left foot to stand back up. So it's very similar to the kickstand Romanian deadlifts we did in the class yesterday, but we are just using one leg. So that is going to be that one. And then the next circuit, we're going to do some bent over IYTs. So we're going to push those hips back. We're going to come up, I, and then Y, and then T. And then we're going to do a staggered squat with the opposite leg. So using the opposite leg this time, coming down, push the ground away, standing back up. So I'm just using my right leg there. The left leg is there for stability, so we can do a single leg squat without actually doing a single leg squat. So the last one here that we're going to do, we're going to do some glute bridges and then glute bridge marches. So we're going to be on the ground, feet hip width apart, and tucking the pelvis, keep that core tight, push the glutes towards the air, back down. So we're going to do glute bridges, and then we'll do marches. So exhaling is zipping that core up, toe. It has a string attached to it to the end of the zipper. So we're using, again, the core and not the hips. And that is going to be our workout for today. So we can go ahead and get started with our warm up. And we're going to be on the ground in a half kneeling position. And we're going to do a little bit of hip flexor to hamstring stretch here. We're going to do 2 on each side. So starting off, we're going to tug the pelvis, squeeze the glute, push those hips forward. We're going to nice stretch through the front of the hip. We're going to take a big deep breath. And we're going to exhale, rock our hips back, bring the chest towards the knee. toes towards the ceiling. And on the next exhale, we can go ahead and rock back to the hip flexor. So tuck the pelvis, squeeze the glute, push those hips forward, opening up the front of the hip. Big deep belly breath. And then we exhale, rock back, toes to the ceiling, chest towards the knee. Breathing into the tight areas. And we can go ahead and exhale and come out of it. Then we'll go ahead and switch to the other side. So same checklist here. We're going to tuck the pelvis, squeeze the glute, and push those hips forward, opening up the front of the hip. We're going to take a big deep breath. And we're going to exhale, rock our hips back, toes to the ceiling, chest towards the knee. Stretching out our calves and our hamstrings here. We're going to take our breath. And exhaling back to our hip flexors. So squeeze the glutes. Keeping that glute squeeze helps us open up the hips a little bit more. Nice big deep breath. And exhale, rock back, toes to the ceiling, chest towards the knee. Opening the back of the leg. And on the next exhale, we can go ahead and release out of it. Then we're going to go ahead and be on our hands and knees here. We're just going to get a little bit of rotation going, warming up the back and shoulders. So we're going to go ahead and take the right hand. We're going to inhale, reach through in between the left arm, left leg. And we're going to exhale, opening up towards the ceiling, gazing past our thumb. And inhale, reach through. And exhaling, coming up. And one more, reaching through. And exhaling, opening up. So we can go ahead and plant that hand underneath the shoulder. Doing the same thing, so left arm, reach through in between the right arm, right leg. And exhale, opening up. And inhale, reach through. And exhale, opening up. And last one, reaching through. And exhaling, opening up. And we can go ahead and plant that hand back up underneath the shoulder. We are ready to rock and roll. So we're going to start on the ground with push-ups. We're doing 50 seconds of push-ups, and then we'll stand up, do 10 seconds of reverse lunges, and then we'll do 30-30 and 10-50. So that's going to be what we're doing, starting off first. So I'm going to get the timer going here in 3, 2, 1, and go. So starting off either on the hands and knees or on the hands and toes. I know we definitely did a lot yesterday with push-ups. So I know for me, I'm definitely going to be from the knees, but it's all about how you're feeling today. And I always encourage listening to your body while performing movements. So the chest is a little tight, a little sore today. You know, maybe you still do eccentric push-ups, or we go from the knees. So making sure that as we come down, those elbows are staying nice and tight. The hands are going to be roughly at our armpits or a little bit lower, and then we're pushing the ground away. So the scooping motion here coming from this position up here is what activates our chest muscles. So at the bottom, we want to be here and push up. 3, 2, 1. All right, standing up right into reverse lunges. So this one, we're holding for 2, coming up. 3, 2, 1. All right, back to push-ups. So we got 30 seconds of push-ups and 30 seconds of lunges. So really important here too to make sure that the core is nice and tight. So I like to have the glutes a little bit squeezed so we can keep our body nice and straight. What happens sometimes is our glutes are relaxed, or we tend to get that nice arch in the back that we do not want. 3, 2, 1. Standing up, we got reverse lunges, holding for 2 seconds at the bottom. Push the ground away, come back up. So we want that knee right over the second toe, pushing through, driving through the heel. So driving the heel is going to activate those glutes. So if you're not sure if that's working for you, you can always place your hand over the glute, drive that heel into the ground. You're going to automatically kind of feel that activate there. So that's what we want to aim for in these lunges. All right, back to push-ups in 3, 2, 1. All right, 10 seconds of push-ups. 50 seconds of lunges. Finish strong here. 3, 2, 1. Right. So standing up, we got hold for 2, push the ground away. We want to feel the majority of this movement in the glutes of the leg that's in front. So we're feeling it in that back leg. Helps to go nice and slow. Pick that foot up off the ground so you're not tempted to push off with that back leg. And that always helps me. And then next up, so right after this, we're going to go into pike push-ups. And then we're going to do curtsy lunges with that same 2-second pause. We want that chest over the arch of the front foot. Push the ground away. 3, 2, 1. So going into our pike push-up here. Glutes are towards the ceiling. Core is nice and tight. Bringing that head as close to the ground in between the hands as we can. And finding a good placement of your feet, making sure they're close enough, but not too close, and also far enough, but not too far. Pushing through the ground, we want that slight 45-degree angle in the elbows. And there go my glasses. Keeping our core engaged, so zipping that core up still, holding that there. We got curtsy lunges coming up next. 3, 2, 1. All right, so stand up. We're stepping back behind diagonal, holding for 2 seconds. Push the ground away. 3, 2, 1. All right, back to pike push-ups. That first transition is a little bit tough, but we got this. We got 30 and 30. And as promised this time, I added more upper body because last time I did this, it was too much upper body or too much lower body. Then I also played around with the timing. So hopefully this is a little bit more even for us today. 3, 2, 1. All right, back behind diagonal, chest over the arch of that front foot, pushing through that heel. So same thing, drive that heel into the ground. You feel that glute activate. If it helps to remind you to use your glutes, feel free. Place your hands over your butt. Sometimes that tactile cue of touching where we should be feeling the movement helps us engage the muscles a little bit better. 3, 2, 1. All right. 10 seconds of these pike push-ups, and then we got 50 curtsy lunges, and then we're moving on. 3, 2, 1. All right, done with those. And then we got our curtsy lunges, holding for 2. And then after this, we're going to go right into plank to pike. And then we're going to do squats. So holding 2 seconds. Again, if you need to place your hands over your glutes, make sure they're engaged. Please do so. Whatever makes sure that we're getting the most out of the movement. Face this way for a second. So knee over the second toe, chest is slightly forward, pushing the ground away. So driving through that heel. Great job. 3, 2, 1. All right. Plank to pike. Push those hips up, back down. Making sure that our core is engaged. Helps if we exhale as we come up. Really pushing through. I think our shoulders, we're all going to be feeling it tomorrow. Keeping that back nice and flat, making sure our hips are in line with the shoulders and the toes at the bottom in our plank. When our hips start to dip lower, that's when we get into putting too much pressure on the low back. All right, we got squats in 3, 2, 1. So 10 seconds here, holding for 2 seconds, push the ground away. Down, 3, 2, 1. All right, we're back to plank to pike. 30-30. And we only got 2 more to go. And then we'll cool down and go on with the day. Breathe in. Keeping that core engaged. We're keeping that zipper closed. Between the 6-pack, 3, 2, 1. All right. 30 seconds of squats. I think we're all getting a great shoulder pump today. Keeping those feet hip width apart. Pausing at the bottom for 2 seconds. Push the ground away. So still, again, push those heels into the ground. Make sure those glutes are activating. Come down, push, stand back up. We're gonna go back to plank to pike. 3, 2, 1. Right, last round here. We got 10 seconds. And we're back to squatting. 3, 2, 1. All right, 50 seconds of squats. Holding for 2 seconds. Butt to belly button. Our chest is open, so we're squeezing that orange. And then after this, we have plank knee to opposite elbow with a staggered squat. I think that might be a little hard on the wrists after all the other things we've done. Maybe we'll switch it up. All right, hold for 2 seconds, drive through the heels. It's really easy to start to use that low back as we get tired. All right, 3, 2, 1. Plank knee to elbow. So we're doing same side elbow. So we use that core. Zip the core together. So you can imagine that both of your superficial 6-pack muscles are separated, but they have a zipper here. We want to bring them together. So we're bringing that core together, zipping it up. And we have that string on the edge of the toe or on the toe, and that is tied to the end of the zipper. And if we exhale as we come up, it's going to help us engage that core a little bit more. And then we're going to do our staggered squats next. We're going to choose whichever leg. 3, 2, 1. So I'm going to start with my left leg. We got 10 seconds here. So my right leg is still there underneath the hip. 3, 2, 1. Right, 30, 30. And if your wrists are starting to feel a little bit tired after being in this position for so long, feel free if you want to make a fist, kind of like you're going to punch the floor, your wrist is going to be nice and straight. So making those fists here, make sure we don't tuck those fingers, and exhaling, coming up. 3, 2, 1. All right, same leg still, so I'm still using my left. So it's the same squat mechanics here. So from the side, this actually probably isn't going to look much different, right? But I am on that toe. I'm not pushing through. I do not feel anything on this leg. So we really want to focus one leg, just like our kickstand from my knee deadlifts. And it's different because it is not a split squat. It is just 3, 2, 1. All right, last time, we got 10 seconds of these. And then we're doing one last round. 3, 2, 1. So we're gonna plant last one on this side. And then we'll go ahead and move into our bent over IYTs. We're a little behind today, but that's okay. Really pushing through. Again, if we push that heel into the ground, we should feel that glute activate, which is why I always harp on heel big toe, little toe, but it's also to make sure that our weight is coming back as well. So keeping the chest in the middle still. Exhaling, coming up. We do not have to pause at the bottom for these ones. I probably should have said that a little sooner. 3, 2, 1. All right, we got bent over IYTs, So coming up. Oh, my shoulders. Okay, we're making an I and then Y and T out to the side. So making sure that we come to the T, that elbow. We want to pretend like we have glass on our back. We're going to break the glass with those elbows. So we have thumbs up for the first two, and then thumbs down. Working on that shoulder health. Keeping the orange squeeze in between the shoulder blades, so we're nice and flat. Butt to belly button, sink into the hips. All right, we're gonna go into a staggered squat with the opposite leg. 3, 2, 1. All the weight is on my right foot now, on the left toe. Same thing. 3, 2, 1. All right, IYTs. So really zipping that core up, sink into our hips. The chest does not have to be fully parallel with the ground. We just want to be forward enough, because if we're here doing a T, that's not working the back of the shoulders like we need to help with posture. So want to be far enough back that right now, like I feel that all in the back of the shoulders. So that's the goal there. 3, 2, 1. All right, back to our staggered squat. Again, plant the heel. You're going to feel that glute activate. If you're not feeling it activate, there's a couple ways that we can work on that. But really focusing, helping, if it does help if you kind of squeeze the glute also as you're pressing through the heel, kind of train that mind to muscle connection. 3, 2, 1. All right, last thing, IYTs. We only got 10 seconds. It's gonna be a quick one. 3, 2, 1. All right, staggered squats, last thing. And then we're gonna be on the ground on our backs, doing our glute bridges and glute bridge marches. Ugh, my back is very tight today. All right, that's what happens with all these classes. So I always harp on rest days and recovery, and also listening to your body. Something's not feeling super good, you know, maybe move a little slower, focus on different aspects of the movement. You know, if you're not feeling so hot, going slower, making sure our muscles are engaging, all of that stuff. All right, we're gonna get back on the ground. Glute bridge marches. 3, 2, 1. All right, on our backs, feet hip width apart, core is engaged. So we're tucking the pelvis, the back is nice and flat. Drive those heels. Again, the heels are going to help us use the glutes. And then keeping our heels, we want to find a good place for our feet. So if they're too far out, we're going to feel it in the hamstrings. If they're too close, we're going to feel it in the quads. So we got to find that Goldilocks where our feet are directly below the shins. Or sorry, we got like a straight line from the shin all the way to the feet. Driving through the ground. Again, if you're not sure if your glutes are being engaged, go ahead and tap them or place your hand. All right, we're gonna march in 3, 2, 1. So one leg at a time, zipping that core up. 3, 2, 1. All right, back to glute bridges. Maybe it was not the best idea to do these this morning. And class, definitely glutes and my core are dead. That is okay. We're pushing, we're finishing strong with this workout today. We are gonna march in 3, 2, 1. So one leg zipping that core up, trying to pull with the core and not with our hips. Keeping that pelvis tucked. And then again too, when the right knee is up, that left glute is nice and engaged, and opposite side. So that way we're minimizing those hips moving. We want those headlights to blind the ceiling. 3, 2, 1. All right, 10 seconds of glute bridges. Keep that core tight. Drive through the heels. 3, 2, 1. And we're gonna march the rest of the time. And then we're gonna cool down. So doing this, and then for the cool down, we are gonna stay on our backs. We're gonna do a little bit of figure 4, stretch out the glutes, get the back kind of stretched out, and then we'll be on with the rest of the day. Really drive those knees up, finish strong, use that core, keep those glutes engaged. We're almost there. Keep pushing. 3, 2, 1. That is it for today's workout. So go ahead and grab a sip of water if you need it. And then, like I said, we're going to be on our back for the cool down. So we're going to do that figure 4 stretch. So on the back, I'm going to start with my right leg. I'm going to take my right ankle, cross it above the left knee. And if that tension feels good, go ahead and stay there. If you need a little bit more tension, we can go ahead and interlace the fingers and grab either behind the knee or in front of the shin and pull that knee towards the chest. Slowing the breath down. We make those exhales longer than the inhales. It's going to help relax the body, relax the mind, calm our heart rate down, get our body into rest and digest and ready to eat lunch and digest our food. Give us a little bit of a reset and finish the day strong. Let's go ahead and do one more breath here. And when we are done with the exhale, we can gently bring that foot back to the ground. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So left ankle is going to go over the right knee. And if that tension feels good, go ahead and stay there. If you need a little extra tension, interlace those fingers, grab either behind the knee or in front of the shin and pull that knee towards the chest. All right, inhaling in through the nose, into the belly. And then exhaling nice, long, and slow through the mouth. Just feeling the tension release from our bodies, whether that's from the hips, from the glutes, from the hamstrings, from our back, from our shoulders, from the neck, whatever feels tight. We're just going to release that tension. We're going to do one more deep breath. And when we're ready, after the exhale, we can gently release the foot back to the ground. And then the other foot. And then when we're ready, we can go ahead and roll onto the side and return to seated, kneeling, or standing. But that is going to be all the time I have for today's class. So thank y'all so much for joining me. We got the rest of our class schedule same as usual. And then tomorrow we got 2 classes, so join us there. And then tomorrow is also the last day to sign up for Design to Run. So if that's what you want to do in person, sign up by tomorrow to be in the in-person race. If you want to do the virtual race, you do have until the 27th. So please let me know if you have any questions. Thank y'all for joining me, and I'll see y'all soon.